that happens when chaos takes the stage. Cringe and drama, laughter, rage. Roll initiative and brace your mind for the horror stories players leave behind.
Love it.
Starting with some new horror stories with this warm summer evening.
Well, it's afternoon here, but it's evening for you.
All right, yes, touche.
It is warm though, and sunny, which is rare in Michigan.
It is so cold here where I am. This is the coldest summer I've ever experienced here. It is
Really? What's your temperature?
so right now it is 20 Celsius.
Which is what? I don't know the conversion.
In Fahrenheit 68.
That's pretty cold, yeah.
Yes.
For the middle of summer? Yeah.
It is like winter. Here it is like winter. I had this 60 Fahrenheit, 15 Celsius during winter days.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think what are we at right now? We're at 80 Fahrenheit. So that's what, like 25 or 27?
Yeah, 27.
Celsius?
Well, it was something like that. Maybe a couple hours in the afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not enough. It's pretty much like that all day as long as the sun stays out. If it gets cloudy, it'll get cold pretty fast. Here.
Big cyclones.
Yeah. Maybe we should write a horror story about weather.
Oh, for tomorrow, I wanted to tell my own horror story.
Oh, okay.
About the player. Yeah.
Is this a new one?
My own. Yes, recent.
All right.
Pretty much recent. I will prepare it for tomorrow's
For tomorrow. All right.
Yeah, I will write it down.
I can't wait to hear this. Is it about you?
No.
No, it's about
I'm not
somebody in your
self-aware aware as well as you are.
Okay. Yeah.
We are sharing it.
Okay. All right.
That's our common thing.
Yeah. All right.
You
So-
will tell horror stories about me after.
Well, you got to run a game first. I can't tell a horror story about you until you either run a game or participate in one of mine.
Yeah, when we'll participate. I'm
Okay.
not sure that I can run a game for you, bro. This is
I'm gonna be the like the guy who seduces everything in your game. Like you walk into a room and there's a chair and I'll be like, I seduce the chair.
My horror story will be about a guy who seduces everybody. He tried to seduce spiders.
Yes.
A
I
little
love it.
teaser.
Yeah, I love it. That's gonna be me.
No, it is actually. It is true. It is something I would want to tell tomorrow. He
Okay.
actually tried to seduce spiders.
Oh, seriously?
Yes, he got mad.
That was a total wild guess. I had no idea what your thing was.
Yes, yeah. But it is not the worst one. It is not the
No.
worst thing.
No.
Because at that point I just laughed and joked around this seducing. Something like, "Oh, that spider, she gave you a look. Look, oh, spicy."
I would have made him roll Constitution saving throws, and he would have died as some spider STD or something.
No, he only tried. He didn't proceed.
Nice. Oh,
Spider,
that's awesome.
it turned him off. Spider.
Okay. All right.
Rejected his advice.
Well, that kind of leads into the one we're going to start with today. Your guy got rejected by a spider, but what are we talking about today?
So this is a horror story from Infamous Geek 7, and it is about a paladin who gets upset when NPC women reject him. Who doesn't get upset when NPC women reject them? Do
Yeah.
you get upset? I'm not happy about that either.
I'm the DM, so I never get rejected by NPC women because I control the NPCs.
That's
So
true.
I get all
That's
the
true.
NPC women I can handle.
I don't usually get upset because I very rarely try to seduce NPC women. I did that in
Yeah.
a game with the Rebir, but I didn't even seduce. I think that everything worked out itself.
Yeah,
Remember,
she kind
Keeper,
of she was
she seduced
aggressive
me.
with Rabir. She went after you.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It was her seducing.
Yeah. For sure. But who could blame her? I mean, Rabir is irresistible.
Natural magnetism.
That's it. It's natural magnetism for sure. All right. You want me to get started on this one?
Let's go.
All
I
right, let's go.
think it is going to be juicy.
This is a repeat poster too. I don't know that we've done any other stories. Their name doesn't sound familiar, but they start their letter with, "Hey everyone, I'm back with another story, but also in need of some advice. Uh, once more, because I am currently in this ongoing game, I do not consent to having this story featured in any YouTube videos." Oh, we may not be able to do this one.
Okay, let's go with it. Ah,
Oh,
he's gonna flag us. He's gonna flag
yeah,
us.
he will. We better move on to the second one.
All right.
All right,
It's
Infamous
good thing
Geek.
that he good. Yeah,
You
Infamous Geek
win,
7.
Infamous Geek. We are not going to tell your story, but we are still going to judge you because we think that that is inappropriate that you won't let us tell your story.
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely, we are against you now. Whatever that story was about, you are wrong.
You are to blame.
You are to blame. I don't even know what the story was, and I'm not even going to read it. But you are wrong.
So today, another RPG horror story is from Lazy Insect 7925. I love those names.
Yes.
It is about railroading DM hidden his poorly hidden creepy slime fetish.
Ew.
Yo,
Yeah.
creepy slime fetish? Are we talking
That's
about slime?
slime.
What is? Oh,
Like
yeah.
slimes in the game. He's has a slime fetish. This is not okay. I'm going to enjoy this one.
Or is it adjective maybe slime fetish? Do you say it like an adjective in this? Like
I think
something
they're talking about
slime?
actual slimes. Like he gets into
Okay,
slimes and puts them in his game in a creepy
that's
way.
all right. This
Ew.
is
We're going to find out.
this is something.
Yeah. I think we went from bad to worse with this last person not letting us tell their story,
Yes,
and now this person has a slime fetish. We're gonna have fun with this one, I think. All right.
another reason to hate the uh, Geek 7.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is
Yeah,
part
do
of
you
what we
see?
do. We don't pre-read these stories because we want them to be fresh when we tell them. We want to be surprised by them as well and react in the moment. So we don't prepare uh, what we're going to read in advance. So that's what happens. Some guy tells a story that he doesn't want anybody to hear. That's kind of weird to me, but um, we'll
He
move on.
posts it in internet though. They are weird people.
Yeah,
He makes the
it's the
post in one of the largest subreddit on Reddit, and he tells, "I don't want anybody to see it."
yeah. Like I'm going to post it on the internet, but I don't want anybody to hear it. So just don't tell the story then. Keep it to
What are you
yourself.
doing? What are you
Yes.
doing?
All right. So let's move on. Railroading DM and his poorly hidden creepy slime fetish. I think the word creepy is unnecessary here because a slime fetish is automatically creepy, right?
It is weird.
That's weird. Yeah. All right.
Fetishes are weird, though,
We
maybe.
live in two different countries, two different cultures, and we both agree this is weird already.
Without doubts.
Yeah. All right. So I DM once a week and I wanted the chance to play for once. So one of my players, who we'll refer to as C, the letter C, invited me to play at a game store with them. So my girlfriend and I decided to go. So he brought his girlfriend. I think that's cool. I like that that's something they can do together. This day comes, the game starts, and the DM throws us into your typical tavern start. A little underwhelming. Always start in the tavern kind of thing.
At some point, it's going to be a OG, I guess, and people will miss the days when they started on in taverns because everybody now tells, "Ah, this is such a movie tone to start a tavern again."
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Why do we
someday we
always have
will
to
be.
start in the tavern?
Yeah, at some point people will say, "Do you remember this blessed days when we started when parties started in taverns?"
Yeah. Yeah. Everything old becomes new again, right?
Yep.
At some point. All right. So we start in this typical tavern start, and none of the characters know each other, and a bar fight breaks out. The DM proceeds to describe a 10-minute fight in the bar between two randos and a guard. Was this the Low Lantern? Was it you and Vom fighting?
Who is this lazy insect?
I don't know.
Jordan?
Is it Vom?
Shams?
Is
Are
it
you?
Shams? Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
me. I didn't do
Are you,
this.
are you there?
So bar fight between two randos and a guard, never giving us any chance to talk or even roll for anything. So he's narrating this whole bar fight. He just rants for 10 minutes and then suddenly the fight's over. Once it's over, he tells us that the bar has a job board. Apparently, it wasn't knocked over during the fight. That we
It is
can
a
look at.
sturdy one.
What's that?
It is a sturdy one.
It's a very sturdy job board, and it didn't get knocked over by these randos fighting. Uh, so they are told that they can either look at the job board or go out and explore the town. So the three of us say, we want to explore the town. And the DM says, you want to do that?
Actually, never mind. You walk up to the job board.
Talk about a railroad. He just vetoed what they wanted to do.
You know what? Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
No exploring. There is no actual town. This
No
is
town. Just a
only
job board
tavern.
and a tavern.
Yeah.
And half the tables are broken because of the bar fight.
Yeah. You will teleport directly to the mission after you pick up. There was only one suggestion.
Yeah.
Only
It's like
one.
mission impossible, right? You read the note, it self-destructs, and you teleport to the mission.
Yeah, yeah.
So the DM of the board has 3 jobs on it. One is to slay a dragon, one is to slay a giant, and one is to investigate an abandoned palace.
What do you choose?
I'm going after that dragon. Dragons have
Right
hoards.
away.
Abandoned palaces don't generally have treasure.
Well, yes, yes. But if you are level 3, dragon will slay you.
I would hire a bunch of NPCs and sacrifice them, and I steal the treasure while they're getting eaten.
Yeah. Directly from this tavern, actually.
Yeah. Apparently, this was another railroading attempt by the DM, right? Your new characters, low level, You're probably not going after the giant or the dragon. You're probably going to go to the abandoned palace first. And that's exactly what they picked. They
Yeah,
picked the abandoned palace.
you can choose between getting your ass beaten or washing the dishes. What do you
Yeah.
choose?
Get
This is choice.
get beaten, get eaten, or do the dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they did. They were good little railroadies, and they followed the railroad tracks straight to the abandoned palace. After being railroaded through the entire walk to the palace, they walked. They didn't get teleported. You were wrong.
So there was an actual town. All right.
There was a town, and they walked right through it. They got railroaded through it. They didn't even get to look at anything. Like, nothing to see over there, nothing to see over there. Just walk straight ahead to that palace.
They took a tourist bus.
Tourist
You know,
bus.
this
Yeah.
with the 2 floors.
Yeah.
The sightseeing.
They were up on top, so they couldn't get off. So we arrive at the palace, and we're told that this palace used to belong to a crazy alchemist who made slimes.
No.
Who told them
Slimes.
this? It had a
Baraguli.
sign. Crazy alchemist lives here that makes slimes.
A doormat.
The
Welcome
doormat.
to the crazy alchemist palace,
Yeah,
where I make
we make
slimes.
slimes.
Slime palace.
Slime palace. I like it. That's a good name. I'm going to use that. So we enter, and the first thing that happens is a slime crawls up my arm, and it begins to eat my shirt. I guess they didn't have the right color shirt on. No saving throw, nothing. It just starts crawling up his arm and eats his shirt. It's just on me, trying to eat my shirt off, and there's nothing I can do about it. After telling the DM I'm wearing plate, it moves to C.
What?
The DM, C was the person that they were using for the one that invited them to this game. Right?
Oh, yes. All right.
The letter C. The DM then decides to describe in great detail about how it is a cold, pleasant sensation. That's a weird way to put it.
I bet it is not. I can bet my teeth.
Yeah.
It is not pleasant sensation. No. Maybe cold.
No. Cold, yeah. Slimy, maybe. Pleasant, doubt it. So now this cold, pleasant slime is now eating the female's shirt off. And then covers her body.
No.
Yeah.
You know this in the D&D 3.5, maybe they are also in 5e. I don't know. They were those giant cubes.
Gelatinous cubes. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it like that? Slime?
Maybe. I mean, there are other slimes in D&D lore. But kinda, it sounds like it. But this sounds smaller because it's like covering, I don't know, it ate her shirt and then became her shirt. Because it's covering her body now.
No, I don't think that it is. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It does a little bit.
Yeah, okay. It's creeping me out a little bit already. So
slimy underwear.
Slimy underwear. Yeah, that's not okay.
Sounds like fun.
I can honestly say there has never been any slimy underwear in any of my D&D games.
Nothing what I would ever heard about either.
No. You wouldn't put you're not going to go put some slimy underwear into your games now?
Hard pass.
Hard pass. I agree. So my girlfriend and I, remember this guy got invited and brought his girlfriend. Our definite,
Cheers
our
to you, bro. Cheers to you.
yeah,
You got a girlfriend you can play D&D with. This is awesome.
yeah. I agree 100%. I think all guys, it shouldn't just be like guys' night out and they go play D&D. I think they should bring their girlfriends. It makes it more fun.
Girlfriends don't like
Unless your DM insists on everybody wearing slime underwear. Then it gets weird.
uh, I would not hang out in this game either.
Yeah. It sounds
I would
like
under
his this guy's girlfriend and him, the guy who's writing this story, desperately trying to move the story along and get away from this awkward, creepy slime underwear thing. Um, so they interrupt and ask the DM what happens next. He finally stops narrating and lets us move on to the next room. The next room has two more slimes who immediately try to eat our clothes again. So is he just trying to get all these players naked for some weird reason? Because
Why
this
do
is,
those slimes always eat their clothes? I don't understand that.
yeah, I don't either.
What is happening?
Yeah, this is getting awkward. Uh, so two more slimes, they immediately try to eat their clothes again. So we just decide to turn around and leave this room. C decides then to split up the party and continue investigating. And the DM basically forgets about me and my girlfriend here because they split up. C avoids about 5 more slimes before making their way upstairs to find the dead body of the alchemist who left a note before talking about his greatest creations. I'm assuming this alchemist is probably naked because the slimes ate all of his clothes. But it doesn't say that. So,
He died from cold,
yeah,
from cold pleasant sensation.
a cold, pleasant sensation. Yeah. So, C, this third person in the group, there's the guy who wrote this, his girlfriend, and C. C opens a closet and finds this greatest creation inside there. There's 3 slimy flesh dolls.
Dolls, like
Dolls,
puppets.
like toys, like puppets, like
Mhm.
flesh dolls. Ew.
Slimy. How do you do slimy? They are without any form. Well, if it is not cube,
Yeah.
but
Apparently he
otherwise, I don't
found a way
understand.
to like add something, some flour or something to make it more like clay than slime.
They
Because
are flesh dolls.
flesh
Flesh.
dolls, slimy flesh dolls.
Do that.
I don't know. This is grossing me out. Um, so he finds the dead body of the alchemist. He does or does not have clothes. I don't know. It doesn't say. C opens the closet, finds these greatest creations, which are 3 slimy flesh dolls, 2 that look like famous people, and 1 that looks like C, the player.
Oh, this
He
is
points
horrible.
at C when he says this.
Oh shit.
It looks
This is
like
a
you.
horror story.
This is a horror story of a horror story. Yeah.
At this point, it
See,
is not all that bad. Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm getting a
Eating,
little
eating,
creeped out.
eating clothes with the slimes is kind of weird, but
And
uh,
then covering
if
their
it,
body. It ate their clothes and then covers their body.
yeah,
Maybe those aren't really dolls. Maybe they're just people that it already did this to.
yeah, two famous people. I think that they are eaten by those
Yeah.
dolls.
Yeah.
Became those dolls.
I think so too. So C gets freaked out and slams the closet. Shuts the closet and decides, I'm out of here. Like, I don't need any more evidence. This is weird. I'm out. He leaves the palace, but not before picking up a friendly slime to take it with him. How do you tell if a slime is friendly? Does it only eat the sleeves from your shirt?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's friendly.
It was smiley slime.
Yeah. I guess maybe it's warm and pleasant if it's friendly.
All right. Yeah. Maybe it is warm and not that pleasant.
Yeah, warm and slightly less pleasant.
Warm and neutral.
so so we leave the palace. Apparently he must have found the other two people that the DM forgot about. Um, and we leave the palace and end up on some random trail and follow it to a wedding, which we crash this wedding because why not? There's food and free drinks, right? So let's wedding crash. And what do you know? Someone dies. So now we're in the middle of trying to solve this mystery.
All right.
100 investigation rolls later, an awkward attempt, it's written poorly, an awkward attempted flirts from the DM. So towards C. So the DM awkwardly tries to flirt with C, whoever C is. The three of us are about ready to give up when the DM brings up the friendly slime again. They forgot about the friendly slime. Why do players always forget about their pets?
Yeah, how do you forget about the friendly slime? I don't forget about the cruel monkey.
Yeah, you never forget about your pets. You don't even forget about Rope.
Yeah.
But most people do. They get these pets and they make a big point of capturing these pets or training them or whatever, animal handling, and then they forget all about them. They never feed them, and they probably just find their bones in their backpack at some point.
This is like my son.
Yeah.
He catches a lot of lizards and of other bugs, even crabs in the river.
And you find them dead everywhere?
Sometimes. If I don't make him free them, let them go.
Yeah.
Eventually. Yeah. They are going to, their end is inevitable and they are mostly doomed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's in D&D games. I have decided that when they take a pet, I just never talk about it again. And I don't care if they feed it or don't feed it. I don't want it taking up game time, especially if it's not like a companion that fights or does anything. If it's just a pet, they can bring it up whenever they want to. I don't care if they feed it. It's alive and it's out of the way. I just don't want to spend a lot of time on you forgot to feed your pet again.
Yeah, okay, but do you integrate it in the story?
I might. Like, you fell off a cliff and take 30 points of damage and squashed your pet.
Like that?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
I might. Or just panic them. You landed on your backpack. You check on your pet and he's fine.
True. How do you incorporate a pet in the story? It is just an animal, speechless.
Unless, you know, it would be good. Let them take the pet. And then at the end, the pet was the BBEG the whole time.
The BBEG, yes.
The final fight of the whole campaign is you against your pet.
I don't know in any other way to incorporate it in the interesting way, pet. If it does something like a familiar, like a raven, of a warlock, it is okay. But if it is just a pet, which just meow from time to time,
yeah, they just forget about it, and then I let them forget about it. Yeah, because I don't want to deal with it. So he finally, at this wedding, they're doing an investigation because, of course, you would ask the party crashers to solve the mystery. That just makes sense. Right?
You don't eat food for free.
That's right. You solve this mystery, you party crashers.
Yeah. Be useful at once.
Yeah, he brings up the friendly slime again. The friendly slime then apparently it talks because the friendly slime goes on to explain that the alchemist died of heart failure after having too much fun with his creations.
How does
I
slime talk? It doesn't have a vestibular
yeah,
apparat.
how I don't know, but apparently it talks, and it is basically saying that the alchemist died of heart failure because it had too much fun with his creations, which are
Oh no,
slimes.
no, 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 no. I'm starting to understand where it goes to. Too much fun with his
Yeah,
creations and heart attack. And with the title of the story,
yeah,
the puzzle begins to
yeah.
combines.
2 and 2 is officially adding up to creepy.
Before
So
that, we were a little bit too judgmental to this DM, I think, because all right, it kinda okay that there are slimes, as we talked about that. There are those giant slime cubes,
yeah,
so it is legit.
yeah, it's legit. It definitely is. But I don't know. Maybe I had a little bias going in because of the title, but I was getting
Yes,
creeped out
yes,
pretty
we are,
quickly. Yeah,
we
we
are
got
biased.
biased.
But
Okay.
yes,
All right, that's fair. I mean, I'll admit it. But we were right. Our bias proved to be right in this case. Uh, so the after he says this, so the slime, the DM talking through the slime, tells the party that he died from having too much fun with his creations. He winks at C and then explains that this is more important to figure out the mystery.
this is more important to figure out the mystery.
Yeah, that knowing that this creepy alchemist was messing around with slimes is important to figure out the mystery of somebody who died at a wedding randomly. Uh, they're like, yeah, no. My girlfriend and I get up and leave and drag C with us in the middle of the game. They just walk away. Uh, this then leads to a long and uncomfortable conversation with C about why everything that just happened was weird. Like, C didn't get it, that it was weird. They
I
thought
didn't
this was
too.
normal.
So we are only assuming. Maybe that was too much fun with his creations were like, what is so creepy about that?
I
Maybe
don't know.
they ate him because definitely they are trying to eat. Maybe they are too small and baby slimes. They can't eat flesh right now. They can eat only clothes. You know, they start small. After that, they
Maybe. I mean,
grow.
it's like babies can only eat like formula and baby food until they grow up, and then they can, yeah,
Yes, yes,
then
and
they can chew food.
these two these mysteries are connected to each other also. So
I'm actually shocked that C, whoever this person C is, had to be explained why this is weird. Like they didn't get it. Like this seems normal. Honestly, he says, I'm not sure if we're overreacting or not, but that's huge, creepy energy right there. Uh, I don't know what he was expecting to happen or where it would have gone if we didn't push the story along or leave, but it creeps me out just thinking about it. It kind of
too
creeps me out too.
sensitive. Too sensitive. You guys are too sensitive.
You're okay with the creepy slime game?
I I don't see anything creepy so far. Maybe I'm as oblivious as a sea.
I don't know. When the DM says, "All right, let me do it. Let me channel this DM for a second."
All right.
He says in character as this friendly slime. I right? He says
He even has a good, cute slimy. I don't know if your slimes can be cute, but
Yeah,
still.
maybe. I mean, did you ever see like the Ghostbusters cartoon with
Oh
Slimer?
yes,
Slimer
yes,
could be the friendly slime.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
he's cute.
he can't talk. Oh, he can do some sounds.
Yeah, yeah. So here it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you wanted to
So I'm the
explain why
DM.
it is.
I'm the DM. So I'm the DM playing the creepy slime. So he says, so the alchemist died of heart failure because he was having too much fun with his slimes, his creations. Wink, wink. That's creepy. I'm sorry. That's creepy.
Maybe I don't fully understand the meaning of having fun with his creations. Because for me, having fun, we are having fun playing Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's different. That doesn't
That's
give you a
different.
heart attack.
It can.
I think he was having a different kind of fun with his slimes.
Why having fun with slimes?
Yeah. I think that's the way they took it
Oh,
because they
oh,
ran away from the game. They thought
this
being creepy.
assumption is disgusting.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. But I'm that wink wink thing, the winking at them, that's what makes it creepy to me. Like you don't have a conversation with somebody and they give you the old wink wink and it's not them saying something inappropriate.
Yeah,
Is that not a thing there where you live?
I have never seen winking like that. I guess. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like wink,
maybe.
wink.
Yeah, it's like it's creepy here. Like somebody tells you something kind of that could be easily misinterpreted and then winks at you. You're like, dude, what is up with you?
I love with you. But I don't think that I have ever seen it, and I'm pretty social, dude.
Yeah. Let's find a comment. Let's see why they think if they think it's creepy or here we go. Honestly, I'm not sure if we're overreacting or not. This is the end of the story, what the writer said, and they're quoting it. Honestly, I'm not sure if we're overreacting or not, but that's huge creep energy, right? So he's asking, do you agree this is creepy? This writer says, or commenter says, yes. If you wanted to do this with a non creepy way, the goops would just kill and eat you and then replicate you to do evil nonsense while pretending to be you. Why would they eat your clothes and be a cold, pleasant sensation? That makes it a little creepy for me, too. That description of cold and pleasant, that's like, what?
On the other hand, there is another comment I see that finding a duplicate of yourself is a pretty classic horror trope, and I
Yeah.
actually liked it. Now, I think most famously from Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I
Yeah.
don't think that moment was itself a problematic or lame element. I'm assuming the DM meant that the slime resembled C's character. Not bad, rather than C, the player. I don't love that. That moment by itself wouldn't drive me to leave, but overall, this sounds like a crappy DM. I might have left before this point from the railroading and lack of player agency. I'm I I'm teaming with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of creepy stuff though. Maybe this wink wink, yeah, but if we take it out
The
or
wink wink, the cold pleasant, the slimy underwear where it's eating your clothes and then replacing them, like covering your
where did
body.
you it is an assumption that it covers your body,
No, no,
right?
no. He said it. He said it.
Oh,
Um,
covers her body.
covers her body.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah. It
ate
is
her clothes and
already.
then became her clothes.
Mhm. It- yeah, it doesn't sound that good. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought that it was just our assumption.
No, that was in the story, which kind of creeped me out as well. Um, so I think I definitely agree with the commenter that you just read. This whole thing was just a railroad to get them into this place. I think it's why why exactly does this one of these three creepy slimes look like a player that it had never seen before? Like he opened the
This is
closet and it
no,
already
this is a
looked
good.
like him. So why?
This is a good trope. Why this is up to you to figure out. This is a good mystery, I think. As
Yeah,
for railroading, if a one shot, for example, Call of Cthulhu, right?
yeah.
It wasn't all of that railroading, but it has a general plot, not like D&D or some other games like maybe Fate and uh,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But still, even if D&D, the one shots do have those.
Yeah, you're right. You kind of have to with a one shot, or else you never get to the end of the story. And if you follow too many false trails, it's no longer a one shot. Now it's like a two or three shot. So you're right. I mean, one shots have to have some kind of tracks or guardrails. Um,
Yeah, so if they do go to search in a town, they are going to be spending time talking to NPCs that are not even there if it is a one shot,
yeah,
and he will have to come up with those.
yeah. I think he could have been a little bit more clever about hiding the
Yes.
railroad tracks rather than
Right.
just say, "Oh no, you can't go look at the city. You look at the job board." The
Yes.
city
Yeah.
is yeah, off limits. He wasn't very clever about his heavy-handedness. Um and I think to a certain extent if you're in a one shot, the players should play along, right? You know you're in a one shot. You don't have time to be investigating the whole town,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
you have to play
Exactly.
along with the DM to a certain extent. I still think this was a weird premise. If like the dead alchemist was actually a slime and then came to life and tried to kill them, fine. That's fine with me. If the three in the closet were all three of them and the end of the story explained why it was all three of them, that
Yeah.
would be fun. I agree with that. But I don't
Yes.
like all of the creepy imagery that this DM shit threw in there. I think he was just going for some shock value and to get a reaction from the players. And he got a reaction. They
He
laughed.
wanted them to be discussed because, for
Yeah.
example, that do you know the horror movie Fly? It is
Yeah.
also disgusting, but it is fun to watch. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
There are also those authors. I don't remember names because I don't like this kind of literature actually, but it is very descriptive to a certain way about the body transformation and
Yeah.
stuff like that. All of those fly vibes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. I get
it
that.
looks disgusting,
Yeah.
but this is what shocks people and makes
Yeah.
this
I
horror
think
element.
I love the horror shock. I don't mind that. I don't even mind disgusting, but when it gets to that like creepy, that's kind of where I draw the line. Like, why did it have to replace her clothes, cover her body? What's all the winking about?
Yeah,
And exactly
this
how is a
bad.
slime winking?
It and how does the slime talk?
Yeah, it
All
talked
right.
too. So, yeah, maybe he was just trying to get him back on the story by making the slime talk. It sounds like they were investigating all the wrong stuff. They investigated 100 roles and hadn't solved this mystery. So at least that's what the writer says.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to vampire.
Let's do
Vampires
it.
Masquerade. We
Ooh.
skipped it the last time. I kind of like the Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines, for example. Game
Yeah.
was in the early 2000s. I liked it a lot. And at some point, I wanna try a Vampire Masquerade also TTRPG. Probably I
Okay.
don't know much about it, but maybe we will learn a lot Maybe
Well,
not a lot,
if
but something.
if there's any DMs out there that are really good at running Vampire Masquerade, come on the show and you can run us through that.
Someday we will
Yeah.
definitely try it out.
Yeah, I don't run that. I never have. I could probably learn it, but if we've got somebody out there who already knows it, I'd love to play.
One day for certain.
Let's do it.
Just
Reach out to us.
remember my words.
Find us
Yes.
on YouTube, find us on Instagram, and while you're there, like and subscribe because we really appreciate feedback.
True. So today's horror, today's another RPG horror story is from Elendor 5. It is about Vampire the Masquerade TTRPG and the Princess Pet Werewolf.
Oh, we're talking about pets again.
Yes.
Hopefully he
Serious?
feeds this one. Well, I guess a werewolf you're going to feed it people. So
Oh, this is a little bit long one, but I think that it is
we
going
got
to be
this.
nice.
Yeah. All right. So this happened on some play-by-post site years ago. So this probably took a while because they're playing by post. We're playing Vampire the Masquerade 20th Anniversary Edition. I didn't even know it was
Whoa.
that old.
Shit.
Nice. All right.
A couple of years ago, and still it was his 20th anniversary.
Yeah. Yeah. We were all a bunch of neonates, which are newly turned vampires in this game, serving Camarilla, a global vampire organization that basically rules over all of the vampires, or at least tries to. In San Francisco, some small group of renegade vampires was causing trouble, and the prince, the highest ranking representative of the Camarilla, is in that city. He wanted us to investigate them and get rid of these rogue vampires because we can't have rogue vampires, right? That's too far.
I would be a rogue vampire.
Me too. I'd be all in on being a rogue vampire. My big bad is the prince.
Yes.
We're going
Yes,
after him. All right. So DMs, whoever's going to volunteer to run our game, be prepared. We're rogue vampires. All right.
True. Absolutely.
In the middle of this meeting, some half-naked guy wearing a spiked dog collar, crawling around on all fours and holding a dog leash with his teeth, comes inside. Apparently, he took himself for a walk. He's holding his own leash in his teeth.
It is like in that video clip, music video of Rammstein, Mein
Yeah.
Teil, when they all were in the leashes.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now. Exactly. So he comes in, he brings the dog leash to the prince. The prince dismisses him with don't worry, I'll take you out for a walk soon.
Don't worry, I'll take you out for a walk soon.
Yeah. What? I don't get it. Like, so this guy walked in and is basically asking the prince to take him for a walk, carrying his own leash in his mouth. My dog doesn't go that far, but he does get excited when I tell him we're going for a walk.
My dog has a whole garden, huge one.
Yeah, yeah.
And there is some place where it does its job.
He does his business back there.
Yeah, I don't know even where.
It doesn't
is
matter.
to
It's
be.
good fertilizer for the garden.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was very weird, but this is Vampire the Masquerade, so some amount of weird is expected. Yeah, I would assume. The storyteller resumed the meeting in the same post, so we all kind of just brushed it off. So we go investigate this. This part is mostly uneventful. We basically learn that the renegade vampires that the prince wants us to take care of had their hideout on Alcatraz Island. All right, we get to go visit
Hey,
Alcatraz.
not bad.
Yeah. So we report back to the prince. When we come in, the prince is petting the half-naked man with a dog collar, who is licking his face like a dog.
Yes.
I'm getting grossed out again. We try our best to ignore this weird presumed ghoul. So they're assuming that this person is some kind of ghoul,
Yeah,
basically a type of vampiric servant, and tell the prince what they've learned. After we tell the prince everything, he turns to the guy with the dog collar and says that he's going to take him for a walk tomorrow. You can't tell a dog you're going to walk it tomorrow. They have no sense
you
of
go to your
time.
toilet tomorrow.
Yeah, you're going now. Yeah. And the storyteller then pointed out that while he was saying that, he glanced at us with an evil smile. Another little creepy. I'll take you for a walk tomorrow, and then gives him a creepy, evil smile.
Yes, this prince deserves to be BBG from Rogue Vampires.
Yeah, we're going to kill that guy. As soon as
Now
we
I
find
am.
a DM to run it, we're killing this prince.
Yeah,
I don't like him.
me neither.
So the next night, we're supposed to go to the hideout on Alcatraz Island to deal with the renegade vampires. The dog collar guy does not show up this time, to everyone's relief. The prince, apparently the prince shows up, I guess. Insists that,
yeah.
oh, maybe
Where
not. Maybe he's not there. He's just recalling.
they moving to there and back, there and back.
Yeah, he's going a little back and forth. So I think it's a little out of order. So they go, the dog collar guy doesn't show up. The prince had told them that there's a specific boat to use to get there, and gave some innocuous reasons. He puts it in quotes, reasons. Due to the prince's odd behavior, we were suspecting that he's setting up some kind of trap for us or intending to sacrifice us in some way to achieve his goals. So we agreed that if something shady happens, we just get the hell out of there and go to a different city. So now they're on board with us. They want to go. They know the prince is evil. We already knew that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We figured that out even before reading reading the story.
Yeah. We knew the prince had to go. And during this time, the storyteller kept mentioning that there's a full moon in the sky, and that he kept repeating it over and over. So he's being a little heavy-handed, and he's basically telling them what's about to happen, right? Now it might
pay attention. The moon is full.
Yeah, the moon is full.
Yeah.
Did you forget?
Yeah,
The moon's full.
I'm searching the island of Alcatraz for some traps. Yeah, you can see that in the moonlight. Do you remember? It is full.
Exactly. By the way, guy with a dog leash, full moon. Guy with a dog leash, full moon. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah. So where is it? So yeah, he keeps mentioning the full moon. Now, it may seem obvious that he was setting something up related to werewolves with the full moon, but the werewolves in the world of darkness don't work that way. Werewolves in that world are basically a whole species of shapeshifters that can shift forms anytime they want. And a full moon just makes it slightly easier for them to lose control and go berserk. So the moon doesn't even change them. They can change at will. The moon just makes them lose their minds a little bit. And they generally have better things to do than get involved in vampire affairs, apparently, unless they're the vampire prince's pet. So
Doesn't sound.
go ahead.
It doesn't sound all that good. Being a
No, I still want
human
to kill the
pet.
prince,
But,
though.
yeah,
You still want to kill
nah.
the prince, right?
Yes,
Let's
yes,
do
but
it. Yeah.
still, this
We'll kill his dog too.
it is already, yeah, it is already corrupted.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, we go to the hideout, which was located in some underground tunnels beneath Alcatraz. After wandering around those tunnels for a while, we make it to a large room, and the prince is there waiting for us. Shocker. All around him are the remains of dead vampires. The
Dude.
Yeah, he's killing all the vampires. We knew it. We knew it all along. The prince was also petting a werewolf in Krynos form, which is basically the pop culture depiction of a werewolf. So kind of hybrid, half human, half wolf, I assume, kind of form, right?
Right, right.
So as soon as he spots our group, he laughs and tells us that you want to say it? Say it in your best evil prince voice. He laughs and tells us that
That he just I took my pet out for a walk.
ew. That I yep. That was good. That was evil. Then he lets go of the leash and sends his pet werewolf after us. Well, it was obvious to us that we stand no chance against an elder vampire and his pet werewolf. So we do the sensible thing, even if seemingly hopeless, we try to flee. The other two players both had celerity, which is basically a vampire form of super speed. Like celerity is like haste. So they managed to
Misty
run
step.
away. What's that?
Misty step.
Kind of. It's super fast speed, not necessarily teleportation, but they're very fast. But the third player, the one that's writing this story, doesn't have that. So he's slower than the other ones.
Oh, so we
Yeah, so they
have a
managed to run
Bale.
away while my character was torn to shreds by the werewolf. So it's a case of we don't have to be faster than the werewolf. We just have to be faster than you.
Yeah, salon sucker.
Yeah. See ya. So they make it to the boat, but of course they couldn't get the boat to start.
Oh no.
It was
This is
apparently sabotaged just enough to work for a one-way trip. That's not how boats work, but okay. So like you could rig a boat to work once. How do you do that? I guess you could empty out most of the gas tank and they don't know they only have enough gas to get there. So, okay, we'll give him that. We'll say he drained the gas tank. So they made it to the boat, but they couldn't get it to work as it was apparently sabotaged just enough to work for a one-way trip. So they jump into the water and try to swim back to shore. Wait, maybe in Vampire Masquerade, isn't like running water, moving water, isn't that bad for a vampire?
Why? No.
Yeah.
You are confusing them with cats.
No, I'm pretty sure that vampires, there's something about running water.
Running water.
Yeah, like, I mean, non-stagnant water. Like a pond would be stagnant, like a river would run, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I assume, well, this would be the ocean. That's moving. That's not stagnant, right? Anyway,
I considering my desire to become a vampire. I have a river and I love to swim in there. If
you would
this is
die.
no, then hard pass.
Yeah.
I'm not becoming a vampire anymore. If I can't swim in a river.
Yeah.
Come on.
According to folk transitions, running water destroys a vampire, or at least renders it paralyzed. The belief that vampires cannot cross running water is common. But maybe that's not in the rules in Vampire the Masquerade. I don't know.
Yeah,
We
they
did
have
say
their
we don't
own
know the game.
rule book. Like werewolves don't act, can shift whenever they want, not only in the
Yeah.
full moon.
Yeah, so this game obviously has some different rules that don't go along with like pop cultural vampires and werewolves.
Yeah, and talking about pop cultural vampires, in Twilight they didn't show up on the sun because they were blistering it there.
Yeah,
So
yeah. They had the same sunlight sensitivity of a drow.
even worse, they are diamonds.
Yeah,
And the
exactly.
sun exposes their shiny nature.
Oh, that would be
Yes, in
nice.
Twilight.
Yeah. I want to
It
be
is
that kind of
bullish.
vampire.
Yeah, maybe I want to be that kind of vampire, but I don't
But
want to
only if you can go
work.
in the river.
But yes, and if I don't have to watch a movie about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to watch that one either. So they jump in the water and try to swim back because there's no problem with water for vampires in this, only to be ultimately torn to shreds in the water by the murderous werewolf, who's a strong swimmer, apparently,
Then-
and pursues them all the way out into the sea. Actually, it would be the bay, but whatever. Same thing. It's part of the ocean. Understandably, the way this happened didn't sit well with us. The storyteller seemed to be even more upset than us, though. He told us that even if we managed to get away, he'd dock all of our experience for cowardice. That's railroad.
no, you do not do that.
No, you can't do
What the
that.
hell?
Yeah. This is an elder vampire and a werewolf, and they all got killed by just the werewolf. So that's not cowardice. That's live to fight another day. He said that we
You
were
can
all,
you can flee wherever you want and whenever you want,
yeah,
even from a bunch of kobolds. You
yeah,
don't lose your XP for being coward.
yeah. I don't like that either. That's bad DMing. He put them in a situation that they felt they couldn't win and didn't really give them much choice but to try to run. He said, this is after the fact, he said that we were all supposed to fight the werewolf. Remember, they're all newly turned vampires, and a werewolf could take out even a group of experienced vampires. If we proved that we could hold our own against him, the prince was going to let them live. It was a test.
Oh yeah, and how can they figure that out?
Yeah. Yeah. How are they supposed to know that? This whole thing looked like a setup. There's dead vampires everywhere in this room,
Yeah,
right? When they walked in.
and one of party members has already dead.
Well, the DM is saying that before that guy got killed, before they tried to run, they should have fought. And if they would have put up a good showing, the prince would have let them live. He would have called off his attack dog.
And right after that, he shreds into pieces one of them.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this is not how it works.
No,
In DDRPG.
it's not. He gave them every indication that he was setting them up, and then he TPK'd them as a punishment. Apparently, it was supposed to be some test from the prince. For what purpose? Who knows? They'll never know because they all got killed and shredded. The prince never said anything about it in character. We only learned it from the storyteller later, after they were all dead. Anyway, the storyteller ended up deleting the game because none of us wanted to play anymore anyway. They're all dead. They would have had to start new characters to play again. As for the werewolf, There were no weirdly detailed descriptions or anything like that. And from what I remember of what the storyteller said after our characters died, he seemingly just thought it would be funny to have the werewolf literally act like a pet dog. So he was trying to be funny and he just made it weird. Like,
I'm
why would a
telling you,
werewolf act like a pet?
I'm reminding you that maybe he was a big fan of Rammstein and
Yeah,
remembered the Mein Teil music
it could
video.
be. Do we know where this comes from? I don't think we can tell.
Either way, Rammstein is famous all over the world, especially in Europe.
Yeah, this
It's a big deal.
Demon a commenter, Demon uh, says the werewolf goes into the Umbra, dead vamps, no defense. The storyteller was an idiot. Maybe, and that's a big maybe, a black spiral dancer might work with a vamp, but that's more likely to happen in a Sabat game than a cam game. I don't know what that means. Sounds like they had no idea how WOD actually all works together. I don't know what those
This is
acronyms mean.
lore heavy.
It is. Sounds like it's very lore heavy and it goes contradictory to most common like pop culture lore that we know. At least some of it.
Or this werewolf might be mind controlled into
Maybe.
that.
It could be. Here's somebody who supports the DM. Frequent Yak 5354 says, I think the DM is fully within their rights to alter how werewolves work in their game, both
I
power
think so
wise
too.
and society wise. He wants his furry yaoi prince werewolf shenanigans as a backdrop. Who am I to judge? In my eventual chronicle, the sheriff is basically Marvel Black Widow as a Toreador, and the prince is totally banging her. I suspect for the same reasons your DM storyteller prince is L. Ew.
Banging his puppy.
Yeah. However, you were supposed to blah 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 is pure trash behavior. Nah, mate, the players are supposed to choose in character as they want. F that storyteller. So he agrees with him at first that he can do whatever he wants with the werewolf and how powerful it is and whatever. But railroading the whole group and telling them how they should have behaved uh, is too far. And I agree. This is bad storytelling, and it's bad DMing because he railroaded them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you survived this terrible horror story with us, I encourage you to give this video a like and do this stream as well. Are we going to move to the next one?
I'm ready when you are.
Or
Uh,
you think. So, what do you think about the Vampire Masquerade setting? I don't know much about the rules though,
yeah, I
and all
don't
the
really know
systems,
the
but I.
rules, but it sounds interesting. I'd be willing to try it, but I'm definitely still going after that prince.
I think there are a lot of corporational and political things, probably.
It seems like it, yeah, because apparently in this world the vampires have like taken over. They have their own society and structure, and they're
They don't
going after
take
rogue
over. They are more of a like underworld, like
Yeah,
shady. They are ruling, but they are not obvious. They are hiding their nature.
maybe it
No,
could
I
be.
played the Bloodline, Vampire Masquerade Bloodline. It
Oh, you
is
did?
about that. Yeah, it it was a big game in early 2000s
Yeah.
RPG. Pretty
Yeah,
good
that makes
one.
sense. This article said that it was 20 years old, and that was a few years ago. So that's you probably played it when it was pretty new.
M- Yeah, but I played the computer version. I didn't know
Oh,
that it was a TTRPG.
oh,
So yeah, this is why I know the setting and how
yeah.
it looks like. But I didn't even know before I got into TTRPGs. I didn't even know that there is an actual RPG. Neither did I know about the Cyberpunk Red, that it was based not on Cyberpunk, but the Cyberpunk, the actual computer game was based on this TTRPG.
Oh,
And in Cyberpunk is what? It is 30 years old,
yeah, probably.
maybe, or maybe even more.
It might be. Yeah.
It is an old game. It's an old TTRPG, and I have never heard about it.
It might be older than that because I'm pretty sure I remember hearing about it um, a long time ago. And I'm a little
Hey,
older than you. I'm looking it up to see. Cyberpunk role playing game 2013. No, it
no.
splits from the real world. Cyberpunk exists with its own fictional timeline, which splits from the real world in the 1980s. Um, the first edition set in 2013, and Cyberpunk Red is set in 2045. That's the setting, though,
No,
not when it came
setting.
out.
It's not that.
Yeah, that's the setting.
We got a
Uh,
comment that was said.
1988, it was first
Yeah,
published.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Yeah,
see?
yeah,
It's fucking
that's
old.
almost 50 years old.
No, come on. No, no, no. 88, not
Oh,
78.
not 78.
Yeah, it is still younger than me.
It's still 40. Yeah, yeah, a little bit. All right, my math is failing me. My brain is getting worked over this week. The
After this slimes I guess they got into you
slimes
a
got me.
little bit. Yeah,
It
a little
creeped
bit
me
too
out.
far.
It's bad when a RPG horror story is so bad that you lose control of your math skills.
Yeah, after reading, after listening them, just breathe heavily, like,
Yeah,
and
deep
see
breath,
how they.
deep cleansing breath.
It was a good one. Exactly. Yes, yes, yes.
Good.
I almost saw the slimes go out of your
Coming
breath.
out. All of the
Yes, no more.
negativity from the slimes is out. I'm
Yes,
cleansed.
yes. No more math shenanigans.
No more math shenanigans for sure. We got time for one more.
And so, another RPG horror story is from Bellon Fight Addicted. And it is about why you should never make a campaign based on your special interest.
Okay.
Why?
I don't I don't think I agree with this one, having not
Why?
read any of it yet. I already don't agree. I mean, why wouldn't you write about what you know?
And about what you like.
Yeah.
It
This
is your special interest, so you are into it.
yeah,
This is what you where you will get the most fun.
I think so. But we're probably about to find out why this person doesn't agree with us.
All right.
So let's see. All right. Note the title is not literal. I'm not your dad, so no shame if you already have or are making one. This is just a fun story. So the guy added a note, or the writer added a note, so that he doesn't offend every single person who's made a setting out of something they like or have a
Okay,
special interest in.
we
He's
hear you,
already
Bell on
backtracking.
Fight Addicted. We hear you, Bell. We
Yeah, but
you
he's kind of isn't he already backtracking from
Bell on
his
Fight Addicted.
do you think he's already backtracking?
He is playing in a safe field.
He's covering his bets so he doesn't get flamed in the comments.
Disclaimer. Yeah.
Disclaimer for sure. Exactly. So I'm in this online D&D group that has been going on for well over 4 years. We each take turns DMing for short campaigns, 12 to 24 sessions. That usually have a good chance of getting completed unless the DM reaches an absolute roadblock, which has happened only twice, except for the main character of this story. I don't know what that means. We'll find out. But one player in particular gets into particular roadblocks, not because of external situations or scheduling conflicts, but because they lose interest in almost everything they make after 5 or 6 sessions.
Sound familiar.
So he says, or they say, I don't know if this is a male or female writing it. Let's call her Shannon. So Shannon is a good player, a really great one. The backstory and beats with her tabaxi still make me tear up slightly to this day. She also is on the autism spectrum, but who isn't in the D&D community? Really, who isn't in the entire world? After we completed,
Autists are the best people I know. My best friends are autists.
people with
Are on
autism,
the
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I think so. I've got, yeah. I mean, I play D&D for a living, so yeah, I know quite a few people with autism
Yeah.
on the spectrum somewhere. After we completed our last campaign, Shannon suggested we should play a homebrew campaign based on Castlevania that she was making, the video game, I assume.
It is
that's-
also vampire. You see,
Yep. We're
how
going
all of
vampire
those-
again.
How all of those stories tied up today. I told you this is some kind of weird magic.
It
First
is.
we were about weird stuff about those slimy fetish. Now there is this puppy, like a werewolf,
Yeah,
who is
pop
a little
culture.
bit
Yeah.
into BDSM, some BDSM vibes.
Yeah.
And now they are tied up in vampires also, because Castlevania is, I guess, the settings is also somewhat for vampire
Yeah. Definitely
and
vampire.
werewolves.
If we start talking slimes again, I'm out. No, I'll finish.
They are going to combine. They are going to collide. in
Vampire slimes.
one- True story.
So they like this idea of Castlevania, right? Doing a D&D adventure in Castlevania. I mean, that's kind of already been done with Ravenloft in D&D, but I'm not really sure how the Castlevania setting would be different, but I'm sure they have an idea. So this person, the writer, rolls up a Christian gunslinger. Who better to go after vampires than a Christian gunslinger? She gave us all this detailed lore and multiple canon articles. I assume that means canon articles, not, I don't know what. Oh, maybe fanon, maybe meaning fan fiction, fanon articles, maybe to read. So the DM's giving them the backstories of their characters. That's kind of a little controlling, but okay.
Lore heavy. Also, she wants them to read some articles, which is bleh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do
And
not
watch
do that.
anime to get a better grasp on the world.
Yeah, and also, oh, it is actually in the text. Which anime to get? Oh,
Gave us detailed lore, multiple fan fiction articles to read, and even watched anime to get a better grasp at the world.
and probably walk through all of the games about Castlevania.
Yeah, that's homework.
A lot. This is a ton of homework.
Lots of homework. The first arc went great. We completed a mega dungeon and killed a vampire lord. which got us lots of gold to use in the shopping session
Hmm.
that had hooks to the next mega dungeon.
A little
Shopping
bit of
episode.
dungeon crawling.
Yeah. Dungeon crawl, shopping episode that gives them hooks to the next dungeon crawl. We talk a lot between sessions on VC's voice
Chat.
chats, and she wouldn't stop talking about Castlevania. However,
She's obsessed.
she's obsessed. However, a few days before the next session, we were chilling in the voice chat, asking her and sharing excitement for the next session. However, she sighed and gave general answers. When we asked what was wrong, she said she didn't quite feel like running it anymore, but didn't go into why. We had sympathy as maybe it's due to real life stuff, so we just let it pass. After all, we had one good adventure, and that's satisfying enough for me. This is only
Yes.
one session.
Only one? I think
Yeah,
it
they
was
had one
only one.
session, the dungeon crawl, maybe a couple, because they said there was a shopping session that would lead to the next mega dungeon, but the next mega dungeon never happened.
This is a little bit too short.
Yeah. I mean, it's a
Way.
one shot. If you agreed to a one shot, that's fine.
You don't read tons of articles and watch anime to do
Yeah.
a one. You don't do that even for a long campaign.
They spent more time doing homework than they did playing the game.
Maybe she wanted them to have a grasp on that, and maybe then someone else will take the chair of DM.
Maybe.
She was hoping for that, to participate there without a need to run it by herself.
It sounds like her decision not to play that campaign anymore kind of shut down their game for a while, because it says 2 weeks later she came to us with another campaign idea based on Helldivers 2. So apparently whatever video game she's playing, that's what she wants to run.
Okay.
So she starts gushing about these 1984 themes. I guess that's what's in Helldivers. I've never played that.
No, Helldivers is happening in another planet, and it has more to do with the Starship Troopers. I don't remember the name of when they move to another planet and slay all of the bugs.
Yeah, Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers. Yeah, it is more like that, basically.
Okay, so I don't know what she's gushing about the 1984 themes means. Now, I wasn't a part of this campaign, as she was pretty adamant on using 5e with an F ton of homebrew rules for guns and whatnot, which isn't my style. But from what I heard, it's a similar story from earlier. There was even a funny story about her canceling a session because of a new update that she needed inspiration.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah. But instead of saying something in the voice chat, she pinged the server announcing it ending due to losing interest again.
They are losing trust in her.
Yeah.
Slowly, but steadily.
I don't even know her. I don't trust her. I would not play a campaign with this person.
No
one
way.
shot, I'd be fine with, but I'm not playing a campaign with somebody who can't get to session 2.
Yeah, I can understand the losing interest by session 10, 12.
Yeah.
But right after the first one, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. But I will say that I disagree with the writers saying that it's because of it's her special interest. This isn't about the special interest. This is about this person.
Yeah.
They just lose interest and they feel no responsibility for the group at all. Like, I sometimes run campaigns and maybe it's not my favorite campaign to run, but the players want to play it, and I'm going to run it for them.
So what do you suggest for me? Because my players really want me to finish the campaign, and am so adamant to really finish it because they basically chased the bad guy.
Yeah.
They figured him out, and the last session ended with them confronting him.
Yeah.
The fight is going to begin. So they are either the whole session will be with them basically fighting the guy. And I'm so adamant to do that. And they are asking me for that for a month now. And
I think I
I feel like
feel
this girl.
strongly that I would do it.
Yeah.
You're just done with it. You don't want to have the fight.
Yes. I don't know why. I'm like something blocks me. I wanna play with them, but another guy took the DM chair
Yeah.
and we are playing Fate. Do you know TTRPG Fate?
Yeah.
So we are playing Fate, and I have a lot of fun, and we have a lot of fun. Another girl that is in our group that were in this campaign also, she is out of the country, and she will
Yeah.
be back in the middle of the July. So when she will be back, they insist on me to continue it and to finish it up.
I would do it. I would make it a point to kind of give the current DM a break. We'll finish this storyline, and then you can take a break for a week or two, or however long it takes you to wrap up that story. I would definitely do it. If the players want to do it, I would for sure do it.
Because you are so hesitant to leave something unfinished.
Yeah, I really don't like leaving stuff unfinished, but I
Yeah.
will if the players just say we're good with the ending of this story, we want to move on. Then I'll do it
This is
because
opposite. This is
yeah,
opposite here. In my case, it
they
is complete
finish it.
opposite.
Yeah,
They don't want. They are begging for it.
yeah.
They are bringing it up every time we meet.
I would definitely do it, especially if they want it so badly. I would do it.
This is the same DM. He is in the game also as a player.
Yeah.
And the girl is also with us in Fate and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So it's the same group.
This is the same group.
Yeah, I would use it as an opportunity to give the current DM a break and let them not have to run it for a week or 2 weeks or however long it takes to wrap up that storyline, and then let them have some closure with those characters and then move on.
All right. I'll take your advice.
I think you should, but you don't have you don't have to do what I say. Of course not. I'm not a
I came here for
railroader
an
of other
advice.
DMs.
Yeah, I came to you for an advice. I
Yes.
got the advice. Yeah, all right.
You already knew what I was going to say, though.
I was hoping you will be on my side. I had a little hope.
We've had this conversation about other stuff before, and I like to leave people with a storyline that ends. I feel like people like closure most of the time. So I do that. So you
I like this
probably
open endings also. So
yeah.
so to leave it at that point, we don't wherever you think it is, you might be dead or might win. So
It's
it is
Schrodinger's
like yes,
it's Schrodinger's D&D party.
Schrodinger's ending.
Yeah. Schrodinger's D&D game where everybody is both alive and dead until you
Yeah.
play.
Right.
I love it.
We'll leave it at that point.
Yeah.
I'm
Just buy
certain.
them all like the book, Schrodinger's book, and make them read it, and then they won't want to finish the game anymore.
I'm pretty much sure they know about Schrodinger's
I'm sure they do.
theory.
Yeah. So let's get back to this one. All right. Let's see, where were we? Yeah, she
Replay the
lost
campaign.
interest. So that she kind of pinged them in the voice chat again and just said, it's ending. I lost interest. We're done. So we played another campaign from another person for the next 8 weeks. It started and ended phenomenally. They all enjoyed the story. Before this same person then announces they have another really good campaign idea based on One Piece.
Oh
Yes,
my
it was
god.
2023 when everyone was obsessed with One Piece.
When
Um,
the show came out, the live show.
yeah. Personally, everyone was ecstatic as we've all wanted a more nautical based campaign for a while. I quickly drafted up a swashbuckler rogue with a fondness for knives and collecting them. My goal, finding the twin silver knives I've heard in Laganda to save my lichen infested island.
These
The
people
world,
don't learn any lessons.
no, they don't. They're slow
They're
learners.
doing they are doing the same stupid thing over and over again. I would
Yeah.
be considering my second campaign with this girl. The third one, there's no way I will
No.
go.
I work on the old adage, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
I can give a person a third chance sometimes, but if it is when I see that there is a hope at least. There
Yeah.
is no hope in there.
No, not at all. Um, the One Piece world, wasn't, or the campaign wasn't exactly set in the world of One Piece. It was One Piece mixed with traditional D&D fantasy tropes.
Mhm.
But regardless, that just made the world feel better and fit into the system better because they were using 5e. We played for about 8 months. Whoa.
What? It was
Eight.
another DM, I guess. It was not her. 8 months.
No, it was her. We played a campaign from another person for 8 weeks, started and ended phenomenally before
But
this
did
person
she?
again said she had a really good campaign idea. So
Holy
they were
shit.
going back after a good campaign to this person. So we played for 8 months, which was about 16 sessions, with about 6 sessions remaining, apparently. So this had a planned ending, I'm guessing, before we took a 1 month break, as some of us had scheduled family vacations at conflicting times. When we talked on voice chat, she wouldn't stop talking about the newest chapter of One Piece or how the new live action, etc. Right? She couldn't stop talking about it. So when we got back, everybody got back from their vacations this month. Probably was July, right? We just talked about nobody does anything in July.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Nobody watches YouTube. Nobody listens to RPG horror stories. And probably nobody watches our awesome Call of Cthulhu campaign, which is awesome. And
that's just
but
crazy.
yeah, but it will get its attention in August and
In
September
August. All right.
because it is awesome.
It is awesome. And
It is
by
very
August,
interesting.
all three of them will be out, all three parts. So they can watch the whole thing. They
True.
can binge watch it.
Yes.
Yeah. So they took the month off, and they got back to do the final arc, and it happened again. We were talking on voice chat, and she was just kind of avoiding talking about the campaign again. I think most of us knew what was about to happen, but they finally figured it out. She did it to him 3 times. But
But
we all,
8 months though,
yeah,
16 sessions. It is okay. It is all
that's
right.
pretty
I would be
good.
satisfied.
Yeah. I'm probably disappointed. I don't know where the story was at that point. But I mean, if the person's not going to run it, you don't have a choice. It's over. Um, so we all asked her what's wrong, and she revealed that she lost interest in One Piece. So she's ending the campaign. Uh, while we understood, we we were almost there and felt really blue balled. I like the way they put that. Not to mention, this sort of thing happened in their past campaigns, right? She's teasing them along all the time. So I get it. Uh, we had an honest discussion. While we're not going to force her to continue a campaign, we noticed that whenever she makes a campaign, she loses interest when it's about her special interest, as it seems like all her special interests have a lifetime of around 3 to 6 months. She got
Mhm.
really defensive, saying it's not my fault for losing interest in stuff. Well, it kind of is. I mean, it's
Yes, it is.
affecting them. So it's not just your thing, it's affecting them as well. Uh, and she didn't understand what our concern was with how canceling good campaign ideas kind of bummed us out. We eventually put her campaigns on the back burner as everyone has new ideas that actually work out.
Oh,
So it took them 3 times, but they finally told her, hey, why don't you just play and stop trying to DM? Because you're never going to finish anything.
I told myself the same thing.
Yeah, obviously, because you don't want to finish your own campaign.
I
you,
decided that even though I kind of liked the DMing, I still kind of like being in the game more. I guess, yes.
yeah, I love playing D&D, but I like DMing more than playing. But that said, I would not give up my playing time because I need it. I like to just let loose and be a player and have fun with the game and do stupid stuff or do funny stuff or do real stuff in the game. But I can play maybe once a week, twice a week at the most. I DM every day.
Hmm. Yeah, for me, I would be okay to DM like a story for maybe 5 to 6 sessions. But my campaign started as a one shot to replace the game with that was switching in a group we were talking about where a
Yeah.
girl looks at her phone, and one time on Saturday they skipped the session, and we were like, damn it, we are going to stay without a D&D this week. Let's just I will try to my DMing skills. I
Yeah.
was like third or fourth time playing D&D at all
Nice.
by that point. Yeah, and I was we were going to do a one shot, and we liked it so much more than with that group that we split out from them and started our own group at this point.
Yeah.
But what my one shot turned out to be a campaign, and
Yeah.
actually I started like, what am I doing when I will play? Dude.
What if you went to them and said, like, honestly, I don't really want to finish it. Why don't
I
you
told them,
guys
yeah.
narratively say what happens? And
Well,
as like a
you know
story
what?
ending.
It is not all that hard. I just pretty much need VTT. That
Yeah.
for a fight, I'm not a big fan of fights. Maybe
Isn't this
in
a
D&D.
live game though?
It is a live game, but we don't have table.
Oh,
We used VTT. Oh, but another guy have a laptop who is DMing, but he is running in Linux, and all of his interface is just code. He doesn't use conventional interfaces, so I
yeah.
don't know if he can use VTT. We can, and
Well,
this
there's
is
a
a big
lot of
fight
them
with a
that are
boss.
good, and it sounds like you're only going to need it for one time. You could probably use Roll20 or Owlbear Rodeo to make a couple maps for them to fight through.
Yeah, I mean, I need to bring laptop, and I work on laptop. I don't like to drag it around.
Oh
This
yeah.
is my working station.
Can you
Use
maybe
another one.
like cast it to the TV through your phone? or something like that. Tablet.
Yeah, I think that I have a little like pocket notebook. I
Yeah.
can use
If
this one.
there's a lot of different like Roku and things here. I don't know what you have there, but you can cast things from your phone to your TV so they can see whatever's on your phone. It just would be hard to control tokens and stuff if you're doing it from a phone, but on a tablet connected to a TV, you could move around tokens, stuff like that. It might be
Okay,
possible.
it might be possible, but I don't really like see the reason. It is just a fight. They eventually gonna die or defeat him, and I'm not sure that they are going to die, or maybe they will.
Do you want them
Maybe.
to die?
No, whatever will happen will happen.
Yeah,
But either way, it is going to be like that, and that's it. They
that's
defeat the
true.
guy.
I think part of the fun part of ending a campaign, though, is people getting to decide if their character survives, what happens to them afterward, and kind of write like an epilogue for each character. They each write their own. Like they become, I don't know, a priest at the local temple, or they go become, a trainer or a cop or whatever. You know, that's, I think, part of the fun of ending a campaign is what they do with their lives after the campaign, and then it's over.
Oh, okay. All right. I see. I see.
Yeah. Like a campaign epilogue for each character kind of thing. I always do that with my campaigns. Some people don't care to do much about it. Like, I just retire and live by the beach. Okay, that's fine. Other people have these elaborate stories about how they save the world.
Something we did on Call of Cthulhu when
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
finished
At
it.
the end. Yeah. EJ did that with us and asked what happened afterward.
Hmm.
I like that. I think it's pretty fun. Uh, and I like the way ours ended. I'm not going to say it because I want people to go watch it. And the first one's out. I assume the second
Phenomenal.
one will be out soon. Uh, and then the third one will have this epilogue for the characters. I love the way it ended. It was perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Very unintentional and very surprisingly good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's why I wanted your character to have the last spot, because I knew you were going to do something. I didn't know what it was going to be, but it was perfect.
How did you know that? I thought that you.
I had a feeling. I
Shit.
don't want to ruin anything by saying this, but probably nobody's watching us anyway right now. Um, I just had a feeling the way you were talking throughout the whole thing. And there were a few clues that you gave throughout the whole adventure that kind of led me to believe that you might do something like you did at the end.
But I didn't, up to the last point, I thought that everybody would die. I didn't
Yeah.
believe that Tadeusz would save them. I didn't have any plan. I just was rolling with the flow
Yeah.
and
I
with the
thought so
jokes.
too. I did
And
think so
it,
too. But when we
yeah.
didn't,
You know, when I came up with an idea, only when Lauren started to tell that she was came back and started to journal,
yeah.
I thought, yo, she started to write.
Yeah.
Actually, why not give her this closure? And I figured, oh yeah, I told that I took inspirations from her stories. But this is perfect.
Yeah.
This is what I came up with an idea.
That's
Before
that's
that, I
the
didn't have
stuff
anything.
that's the stuff I put together. Because one, when you got the money, you said you were going to retire,
Right.
right? And then, yeah, when the whole thing came out organically, that you were taking inspiration from her in your
Yeah.
stories, and then that ending when she was journaling, I was like, yeah, something needs to happen here, and it has nothing to do with Stan. So I want to go next so you can have the spotlight, and we'll just see where this goes.
Oh shit, we are still talking about this awesome game.
It was. It
Yeah.
was so much fun. You guys go watch it if you haven't watched it. Watch the first episode. We added a whole bunch of visuals to it, so you get more of that Cthulhu feel. And Alex's editing was top
A
notch
lot
on this
correct.
one. It always is, but it really felt like Cthulhu. It did. It was a good one and a surprise ending. Well, it might not be a surprise if you watch this first.
I hope nobody did. Some people will,
I hope
but
nobody watches our stream.
not tonight. Not tonight.
Yeah.
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 Maybe they will. Maybe they will watch it later.
Yeah.
It is always on channel.
Yeah. Watch in August. Watch it in August, but watch
In
Cthulhu
August.
first.
By August, we might come up with some more.
Yeah, we
And,
definitely have to do some more stuff. I have ideas, and I think there's somebody out there wants to run Vampire the Masquerade for us. They're about to contact us any minute. We got to go kill that prince. He's got to go.
We will rewatch as soon as we get the DM for Vampire Masquerade. We will rewatch this horror story and remember the prince.
Yeah, who knows?
Hope.
Maybe we'll get to make our own horror story about whoever DMs us in Vampire the Masquerade.
Maybe.
Maybe they have a slime fetish too.
This is gonna be Ouroboros. Snake eating its tail.
Yeah.
The circle is complete.
The circle is complete. You never know.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right. On this beautiful note, we can wrap up for today.
See you guys. It is 4th of July this week in America. So happy Independence Day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fireworks and those
Do
stuff
you
like
have an equivalent of our Independence Day? I would assume you do. I think every country
that? Every
fought from.
country does. Yeah.
Yeah. When's yours?
I don't think that it's 12th of July, of June or July. I don't really
You're not
care
sure?
about it. Yes, because it is not a big deal.
It's not a big deal there.
Yeah, Russia was not dependent in 15th century.
Yeah.
Last time it was so long ago that nobody even. After that, we were not colonized. So this is independence. There is a Russian Day. We are for some reason we are obsessed about the victory from Nazi Germany. Still, very, very, very obsessed with that.
Oh, that was a
And
big
rare-
deal. I mean, Russia lost a lot of people in that war.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I assume that's probably why.
I think that it is probably because they don't have anything else to be proud of. After that, because the whole world fought with that, and Russia tries to take the whole glory to itself.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't Russia, it was Soviet Union back those days. There were
Yeah.
several countries fighting: Belarus, Ukraine, Russia. Not to say Great Britain, USA, all of those countries were fighting against this Axis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it was a
to
big
be
deal.
fair, I'm not sure how it ends up if Russia can't hold the front. I don't know how it ends up. Everybody did their part, and it was truly a world accomplishment.
True.
But I see why they would want to celebrate it. I mean, they lost a lot in that war, and could have lost so much more had they not held that line.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, it'd be a whole different world, something out of a bad movie if that doesn't go the way it did.
All right then. Next time,
Until next time.
tomorrow, I'm going to prepare my own horror story.
Excellent. I can't wait to hear your horror story.
Me too.
This is going to be good. You too. Is it the horror story about how the DM lost interest and doesn't want to finish the campaign.